Hi there, I'm Mark Sebastian, founder of OptionPit.com, and this is the Volatility Report. Reminder, this is for education purposes only. None of this should be considered investment advice. Options have risk. Well, here we are, and as you can see, the market is down again, a touch, down about 3.5. The low on the day is down about 5. The Russell has been the soft one today, but now appears to be getting a little stronger. The NDX looks like it wants to go green, and the Dow continues to kind of hang out. So let's talk about, I'll get to the indexes in a second, but let's talk about Snapchat and how bad their earnings were last night. The only thing saving them today is the fact that they got that big Chinese investment and that was buying up 10% of the firm. If not for that, they would be complete and utter toastiness. It would be terrible. It would be a bath beyond means. But even so, we're going to spend a little time looking at Snap and discussing how potentially to trade it. I think that there's definitely some opportunity there. Other things that I'm going to be watching, I continue to watch the treasuries. They are really funky. We're continuing to watch Qualcomm, which is kind of doing what we kind of were looking for. It's going the way we expected. We're happy on the trade that we put on in the room. It's a pretty nice trade so far. I'm watching these financials. Take a look at XLF. I got a note from a guy asking, "Hey, what do you think about hedging?" And I said, "Yeah, it's the cheapest it's been to hedge. If you throw out the month of September to middle of September to middle of October, this is about as cheap a hedge as we've seen." This was what I said yesterday, and hopefully the guy did something about it. Kind of similar price action XLE. XLE is off to the races. And you can see that it's had rising volatility. But, and this is one thing to take into consideration, is you can't really look at the last month and say volatility is expensive or not. Because look, if I throw out the last year, sans that month, volatility is really cheap. Throughout 2 years, volatility appears even cheaper. So insurance is not expensive in some of these big ETFs. So there's an opportunity to set up some hedges there in some of the names that have been better performers. Then you'll notice that, where we have seen some price action is in the Russell 2000, which is really, really choppy, but has kind of shown a downward trend. Is now at that 50-day moving average, bounced below it yesterday before it kind of popped. I think implied volatility is probably going to look pretty cheap here in a second if you look at the way that the Russell has been moving. Now, I think we'll end up green on the day. All right. I think we'll end up green on the day. But don't underestimate kind of the craziness of the move the last couple of days. Looking at VIX itself, it's been strong. Appears to be, getting a little softer here. I think if you see VIX fall back into the 9s, that is when you may finally see VIX futures eat it. And when will VIX fall back in the 9s? Watch the Russell. The Russell's the leader. If the Russell goes green, the whole market's going to rally today. If the Russell stays red, things could get ugly. All right. That's simple. I would note that softness in bonds is going to push Russell higher, and bonds are probably overpriced. Other names that have earnings this week, we're still watching NVIDIA and Square a little bit, but we are kind of running out of earnings here. But that's kind of the balance of what I'm watching. SPX, I'm going to be seeing if there's any other kind of calendar-y type plays. Those have continued to work. And I'm going to be playing around with some of the, kind of financial names to see if there's anything I want to do. Names like JP Morgan we looked at yesterday, Goldman, a few other names like that. I think that JP Morgan in particular looks like an interesting time to buy. That's in terms of volatile options, call calendars, things like that. All right, folks, if you have questions, you can email me marketoptionpit.com or call me 888-TRADE-01. Have a great morning.